Have you ever felt like something was off in a relationship, but you just couldn't put your finger on it? Like you were being told one thing, but your gut told you another? Yeah, I've been there too, and that's why today we're going to talk about something that's rarely discussed out in the open, but affects more men than you'd ever imagine. We're breaking down 10 lies women tell that men never see coming. Not to call anyone out or create division, this is about awareness, growth, and protecting yourself emotionally, mentally, and sometimes even financially. So let's get into it. The first one is subtle, and it sounds like a compliment. You're the best I've ever had. Sounds flattering, right? And maybe it's even true, but often, it's said more to inflate your ego than to reflect reality. It's emotional currency. The more you feel like you're winning, the less likely you are to question other parts of the relationship that may be off. This is a manipulation tactic that works because it targets a man's pride. The real test is time, consistency, and how she shows up when things aren't perfect, not the flattery in the moment. Second one, I'm fine. This is a classic, and most guys take it at face value, but when she says I'm fine, 90% of the time, she's not. The truth is that men are often expected to read between the lines, but we're not mind readers, and if we don't react the way she expects, it becomes a new issue. Here's what you do instead. Don't just accept the surface answer. Pay attention to behavior, tone, and patterns, and if you see a change, kindly check in, but don't play emotional charades. Encourage open communication from the start. Third lie, I don't want anything serious. Now, this can be real, but often, it's used to test you, to see if you'll chase, to see how emotionally available you are, and then when you treat it casually, she might turn around and say you were never serious to begin with. The solution? Be upfront with what you want. Stop playing the guessing game. Let her intentions reveal themselves through actions over time, not just words on date 3. Next up, number 4, my ex was crazy. Now, sometimes, yes, they were, but this one deserves your attention, because if every ex is painted as evil, toxic, or insane, ask yourself what that pattern really says. The past tells you a lot. Ask questions, not to judge, but to understand her conflict style, her accountability, and how she navigates adversity. If there's zero responsibility taken, that's a red flag waving right in your face. Fifth, I don't care about your money. On the surface, this sounds great. We all want someone who loves us for who we are, not our wallet, but in real life, money is tied to lifestyle, stability, and plans. So while she might not care about the number in your bank account, she might very much care about what kind of life you can provide. This isn't about being cynical, it's about being realistic. Financial compatibility matters. Don't just hear her words, pay attention to her expectations. Number 6, I love how driven you are. Now this might be true, but it can turn real fast. At the start, your ambition is attractive. It signals power, focus, and future success. But later, that same ambition can be criticized as you're always working or you never make time for me. This flip happens when expectations aren't aligned. To avoid this, be honest about your lifestyle from day one. Set boundaries, don't apologize for your goals, and don't dim your light to maintain peace. 7th, I've never done this before. That line, you know it. It could mean anything, from the bedroom to how she handles arguments, and it's often used to shape your perception of her innocence or uniqueness. But be cautious. People present the version of themselves they want you to believe. What matters isn't how rare the moment is, it's how real it is. Look for consistency, not just a story that sounds good in the moment. Lie number 8, it's not you, it's me. That line might sound noble, like she's sparing your feelings, but let's be real, it's often used to avoid difficult conversations, accountability, or just to exit without drama. But here's the problem, if you believe it at face value, you don't learn anything, you don't grow, and you might keep repeating the same dynamic with someone else. Demand honesty, not brutal honesty, but respectful truth that allows both people to walk away with clarity. 9th, I don't compare you to other guys. This one feels comforting, but the comparison is natural. We all do it, consciously or unconsciously. What matters is whether she weaponizes those comparisons. Is she always bringing up what other guys did for their girlfriends? Is she posting thirst traps and saying it's just social media? Pay attention to patterns. If you're always made to feel like you're not measuring up to someone you've never met, that's emotional sabotage. Another real-world fix, if she's saying she doesn't care about your money but constantly talks about expensive vacations or designer bags, that's not about greed, it's about lifestyle expectations, and that's fine, as long as you are aware, because unmet expectations, on either side, lead to resentment, so have those talks early. Don't avoid them because they feel awkward. Awkward now is better than regret later. The goal isn't to never be lied to. That's impossible. The goal is to be the kind of man who can spot the gaps between words and actions, who isn't afraid to ask deeper questions, who builds trust through clarity, not charm, who leads with strength and emotional intelligence. Do you know what's attractive to the right woman? A man who's not easily fooled, not in a jaded, cynical way, but in a calm, grounded, I know who I am and what I stand for kind of way. That's rare, that's magnetic, and that's something no one can take from you. So if you've been through situations where these lies caught you off guard, don't beat yourself up. We've all been there, but let it be the last time. Learn the lesson, not the pain, because the next time you recognize one of these lines for what it is, you'll respond differently, you'll carry yourself differently, and that shift, that's what separates a boy from a man. And hey, if you're still watching, it means you're not here for surface-level content. You're here because you're hungry for growth, truth, and real talk that most people are too afraid to say out loud. So here's your move. Take a second, scroll down, and drop a comment. What's one line you've heard that made you second-guess yourself? Or maybe one you didn't see coming until it was too late? And if this video gave you something to think about, something real, send it to a friend who needs to hear it. Because trust me, you're not the only one going through this. And when we start talking about it, we start healing from it. Hit that like button if this is connected. Subscribe if you're ready for more. Because of this channel, it's not here to entertain, it's here to elevate. Until next time, protect your peace, protect your purpose, and keep showing up for yourself. You've got this.